So what is wrong with America today, primarily, is that you are a believer. You are a nation of believers, and that makes you a herd of animals rather than individual people who think for themselves. Yes, you can all be wrong, as history proves, endlessly true, as is wars and everything that causes wars, and so on. And no, God is not going to just wave a magic wand and fix all your problems. You caused them. You are the problem. You are the enemy of life. You have to fix it because you are the cause of the problem. You chose what we have today by letting lies rule. And lies, of course, come from university. And the university says that everything is a fantasy. We don't have to have any consequences for any reality. We can just throw it all to the side and that's that. And we can just live however we want. But that's not true. A believer is someone who wants what they want and refuses to allow truth to decide. That's what a believer is. And of course, it's so tempting because it's easy. Really, really easy. Whatever I want to believe, that's what's true. Whatever it is, that's what's true because I want to believe it. That's what I want. Faith, on the other hand, is entirely different. It relies upon truth decides. Truth is the survivor. Truth is the method for which we are able to survive. We have to live by truth or everything will collapse. And of course, you don't live by truth, you live by university as God. The university expert is what took over life in this USA. No, you can't make a decision for yourself. The expert has to decide for you. No, you can't be knowledgeable about anything. The university has to decide for you. And no, the justice is determined by the university. Fair play is determined by the university. Whatever it is determined by the university. And the university, of course, just simply chooses everything. And it spends your money to do whatever they want. So the end result of it is that you don't have any control over government. You don't have any government doesn't have any control over itself because it's all about university and what they want. They get to play God with your money. You get to pay them for whatever imagination they have. Their fantasies are supported and controlled by whatever they want. You have nothing to do with anything. It's not your government. It's not we the people. It's the university decides. And of course, that is why we are in the situation we are in today, with the university simply threatening us from every side. You have to make a decision not to let the university be God, and of course that means that you can't have what you want. It means you have to rely upon truth. The religion allows for believers because it's your decision. Whatever you want eternity or life to be is your decision. You can create your own truth. It's your decision. But that's not true of life or living in the United States or in this world. It is not whatever you want. It is whatever is true. Because truth survives and nothing less does. So we have a dying world because there are lies and lies and more lies and stealing and theft and every form of corruption that could possibly be due to university leads. The university wants what it wants, just like you. They believe that fantasy and delusion is just fine. Just like, we can control the same fire that's on the sun here on this earth. That's a complete delusion of stupidity and fantasy. It's no way possible. They believe that they can change nature and prove they are God. That's not possible either. They can only prove they are Satan or God of death. Yeah, it's a religious term, but you know what it means. So, stop believing. Don't believe. Stop letting the expert decide. They have failed. Look around you, they have failed. Stop letting the university be your God or your teacher. You're in control of education, in control of everything, in control of banking, everything. It's how your nation got to be the way it is. And of course it's going to die because the end of resources. Everything about this United States of America is about expanding, using resources that are finite. My dad used to say, well, I'll just go get more. But the end result is, there will be a point when there is no more. There will be a point when there is no more because it is a finite planet. In other words, there's only so much. And if you steal from the future, you steal from every child and you cause that child to die because they don't have what they need to survive. It's your choice. You did it. You caused their assassination. Not because, you're just plain evil, but because you just don't care. You just don't care. I want what I want, I want. That's what I want. And I don't want nothing but what I want. That's your sign of living. That's your sign of death. That's your epitaph. So you have to stop. And the point of this particular little video is that I've kind of reached my own limit apparently. Will lead you a little bit in some form or fashion because the end result is that you're going to die and be extinct and take the entire living world with you. You have leaders that are threatening world war again because they can. And of course then they're going to use weapons of mass destruction because they can. And you're going to be extinct before you know it because that's how life is. That's the truth of your situation. And of course the truth of your situation is that they're destroying the water supply and destroying nature, the foundations of life. They're sterilizing every plant, mutilating every form of nature, trying to ignite atoms on fire, doing everything but what reality needs for you to do. They live in a fantasy world, and so do you, believing that the university will do it, whatever we want. But the university, of course, has done it, and everything around you is a threat. We can prove that. We'll just go to court and prove that. In other words, you have to stand up and fight for your right to say this is the law. You have to give us a courtroom or we're going to take it. We're going to establish what is true, and we're going to find out what is wrong with our world, and we're going to solve the problem of what is a tragedy to us because there's time is running out, time has run out. It's time to decide. You can't just play games forever. Reality has come. And reality is that you just have to change or you're going to die. So that's what I'm telling you. That's what the world is telling you. That's what the evidence is telling you. That's what truth is telling you. That's what your future is telling you. Change or you're going to die. And of course you're going to hide from that. You're going to run away from that. But the end result is that you either have to do what you have to do or you're going to die. And it will be past the point of no return. You have no choice left. There is no choice left once something is dead. It's dead. There's no reviving that. It's dead. And this world, this living world, can die because you just didn't care. Wake up. The reality exists that this nation runs on complete fantasy. The stock market that you see has no reality to it. It's a complete delusion. You let numbers decide for you. You let numbers, you believe that you are wealthy because you have numbers, but numbers do not have any wealth at all to them. They're just a promise of something that they cannot deliver because there is no resources to deliver anything according to the numbers that you have. So, instead of the $100 that you now need for a meal, you need 1,000. and very soon. And of course that will end with lots of people truly angry and truly creating all kinds of havoc in this world. Arsonists, more arsonists, burning everything they can to make you cry. You have no truth in you. That's the state of the nation. This is called the United States of liars, thieves, cheaters, fools, failures, tragedies, terrorists, because that's what your universities do. They terrorize the world. They terrorize nature. They terrorize the entire planet with the ignition of atomic fire. They terrorize you with pollution and poisons and all kinds of things that just not, even if they're out of sight, they're still there. It's not true that you don't have consequences for the realities that you do. You have to decide better. And you have to decide better quickly. You can't let, your stock market makes you think you're a winner. And of course, as long as you can go to the store and buy a resource that somebody has collected for their pay, you can be a winner. But when the resources are over on this very finite planet with 9 billion people and soon to be far more, you will have caused the extinction of the world, the planet itself, everything, every life, every future that could have been and will not be because of you. You need to accept that reality decides. You need to accept that truth decides. You need to accept that want is just want, and that's all it is, and it's just never going to be what you want because you can't get that much from a planet that has no resources for you. You have to accept truth is going to decide what our future is going to be. And of course, there is no expert that will tell you that. There is no expert that's going to make everything great. The damn 2-year-olds that have a constant tantrum and terrorize you from the university are just asshole children who never grew up. Who never grew up and don't want to grow up. They don't want to. They live in their little lies and they fantasize about everything that truth can be trained to do. That reality can be refused. No consequences for us. But it's all a lie. And your numbers have no value to them. Your debts have no value to them. They can't be paid. There's not enough resources in the world. Just for the American dollar, there's not enough resources. And that doesn't include the quadrillion dollars that the world itself has convinced, has let universities and the wealthy decide that they can have everything. They cannot have everything without destroying everything. We have to do better. You have to do better. Or the world is extinct. And this is, my final statement to you. I've tried for 50 years to tell you that this is not going to work out. There will be costs to pay. There will be failures that come. We can't do this. And every single one, with very, very few, that would say, don't do nothing because I'm, for the first time, getting everything I want and I want what I want. But of course, what you want is extinction. And what you want is lies. And what you want is stealing. And what you want is terrorism. And you are traitors. Because if some prize turns up that you want, you throw away a friend. Or you'll throw away your family. Or you throw away your life in your eternity. You need to grow up. How can I say that more? You need to grow up. Stop being a child and stop listening to children who have so pitiful a disgrace that they just don't know what they're doing. Because if they knew, they'd either be Satan, destroyers of the world, or complete fools. What we have to do is actually be a parent, well, what a parent does for a child. You have to actually listen to what life needs for you to do and to be. You have to actually, care about something beyond yourself. And what you want, you have to actually make a decision that allows truth to decide. If you don't do that, you can't repair or replace anything. A herd only believes what it believes because it believes. If you don't believe, you can't be a herd. And if you don't let the leader make all the choices for you, you can't be a cult. So you have to actually individually make a decision to make a choice for yourself. Or more distinctly, you can't go around and kill the world. You can't go around and kill somebody else to solidify the idea that hate is in you. Well, you can, but it's hate in you. So what we have to do is understand that only the law is going to make a difference in our lives. And that doesn't mean their law. It means justified law and fair play. Justified law is basically innocent until proven guilty. So and of course there's a lot of people that are in jail that were innocent, and then there are a lot of people that are in jail because they were guilty. But the deal is that you have to accept that the evidence must decide the consequences of being wrong. What those are determine whether or not we have to be involved in what is going to be our lives and our future. And being involved in mutilating nature, being involved in the earth could turn into a sun because they ignited an atomic fire and on a planet that is made of atoms, so everything is fuel. That's being involved if you don't let them do it. You can't kill them all. You can't make any difference by screaming with a gun. It won't work. You can't even argue that this is all bad, because if nobody's listening, nobody cares, and nobody cares, nobody's listening. So you have to actually care about something beyond yourself. And of course, the herd doesn't do that. You have to actually become an individual with individual thoughts and individual mind. And of course, the universities have been studying you for 100 years plus so that they could control you, manipulate you, tempt you, propagate whatever they want you to believe, and so on. As COVID clearly proved, you are a cult. You are a believer. The cult decides for you. You believe whatever the cult says. And your leaders reflect that. They don't know what their brain is. They only know that they are a cult. So the end result of it is that we have to make a new decision. We have to make a new way of life. We have to do what we can do for ourselves. You can't just let the university decide what to do. You can't let government employees decide what to do. They've decided to take over your world, to enslave you, to mutilate you, to ruin your future, to make you extinct. That was their decision, as is the end result of what they have done. So, don't get a gun, get a law book, and don't be like the lawyers. My God, how pathetic they are, as is proven, of course, by mesothelioma. The average lawsuit is $1 to $2 million, and the average payout to a victim of mesothelioma is $40,000. Your legal profession gets all the rest. And of course, that $40,000 won't pay for anything because the hospitals and healthcare will take it. plus everything else that you ever earned. So you know, you can want what you can want, but you did that for the last 50 years. You wanted what you wanted, and you didn't care about the reality of what is and is not true. You didn't care. I was there. 50 years I've been trying to say to you, stop it. But you said to me, we don't care. We want what we want. So here we are. You are about to be extinct, and of course you're about to take me along with you. I don't like that. But there's not a lot I can do about it unless I can change you. And I can't change you. I can only tell you what is or is not true. And I can only suggest to you that we need to look for the evidence of what is and is not true. And we need to prove what is and is not real, and we need to prove what is the cost of being wrong. Because that matters. It matters what being wrong is going to mean. And of course, being wrong by mutilating all of genetic nature means that genetic nature doesn't exist anymore. By sterilizing every plant doesn't mean that every plant is no longer available for nature to create anything. It is a horrifying, absolute Satan on earth delusion that university does anything but destroy you. Now, I mean, there's a little bit that they can do that adds something, and we need to separate that out. But the end result of what they do is all evil. It's all bad. It has led you to extinction, and you're going to get what you deserve if you don't change. No, you can't fight the world with a gun. And no, we can't let the world end itself with a gun or a weapon of mass destruction. The damn leaders are just damn leaders. They have no brain in them. Just hate. And the world is filled with hate because of what you want. And of course what you want is that you have the pride and declare, I am the winner. You are the loser. Which is what leaders want to do. I am the winner. You are the loser. And of course that has no power in it unless you create fear. And of course fear means violence. And what better thing to prove how violent and how powerful you are than to destroy everything you need to survive, as they did in Gaza and as they're trying to do in Ukraine and as they've done with every war. Every war proves how much constructive power there is. And of course, nothing is more destructive than weapons of mass destruction. And we could go on with that, but that just opens the door to endless threats that they can do. So we're going to stop here. I've done everything I can do for you. So you're going to decide whether or not there's anything left in you to care about this world or about life or about your future or about your child. We're going to ask you to change by investigating the evidence and presenting the law to those who break it. Or not. It's your choice. Redress of grievances is the constitutional law. Nobody can stand against it. I can't stand against it. You can't stand against it. They can't stand against it. It is the law of our government, and our government is the Constitution. It's our government. Employees are not. They're just employees. So you have to decide whether or not you want the law to work for you. You want the government of our democracy to work for you. You have to decide whether or not you're going to believe whatever it is you're told, or you're going to just let them destroy you. Why would you do that? But then again, why did you let them be what they are today? And the answer, of course, is greed. You wanted what you wanted. It's just greed and pride, of course. I win, and then, of course, there's power, which is judgment, I judge you. And of course, the end result of that is violence and fear and extinction. The problem with the reality of it all is that men have been in charge since history began. And this is the best that they did do. This is the best they did do. That doesn't mean they're bad, it doesn't mean they're good, it just means this is the best that they did do, and we stand on the edge of extinction. And we look at wars and the things that men do and find that only a few run away and all the rest go ahead and do what they're told to do, which is to destroy everything that they can. And of course that's what they do. Take a look at the war zone. They destroy things. Might not be able to build it, but I can destroy it. That's what they do. So I'm looking for women, not because they're better, because they're different. And we must have different. And it's a case of I'm not going to lead you to any degree. You have to make a decision to save this world, to change this world, to lead this world, to be better than men have been, at least for the purposes of peace. We can have world law if we, the world, demand it. We can have limited capitalism if we, the world, demand it. And that means that we vote on the limits of poverty, that we vote on the limits of wealth. We decide for ourselves by our public vote what the boundaries are that will be decided in society. But you can't go over 3 times less, because there are people who deserve more. There simply are. So you need to recognize the reality of life on Earth is that we're going to be extinct if we don't change. That's not a guess. That's what the evidence says. That's a reality that you must face. Just, even you can understand that just in human population. If we continue as the last 50 years, double the population, the next 50 years will more than double the population that we have. 18 billion people. There is no way that life survives. There's none. We have to do things different. And it is women that are in control of birth, more than men. So it's really your decision. But then there are a lot of other things that have to be decided and have to be chosen and have to be correctly viewed as true or not true. You have to decide. And of course, here's my website, jamesfostaber.com, and I'm easy to find. You can go to the courts in East Central Illinois, USA, and I've had many a court case. So all you have to do is ask the court, basically. You can find me easy. I ain't hard to find. And my address is actually in this website somewhere. It's your choice. I don't want to lead you. I'm not going to lead you. You have to make the decision to fight for this world yourself. One person is not going to change the world. But all of us can. It's a choice. But soon the point of no return will pass. And from that moment on, there is no choice. Only hell. Make a decision. And accept the responsibility. That is your decision. To fight for this life, to fight for this earth, or just let it die because you didn't care. That's your choice.